welcome to the Super
Yeah,
Rocket
the
Show.
Doppler effect came into effect there.
Hello everyone! Welcome in! It's time for this week's Super R-CADE Show!
Andrew's pulling a lot of voices out of the bag this week, and I think I speak for Michelle when I say stop for the love of God.
At one point there, I thought he was going to ask Igor to flip the switch.
Master! Master! I will flip the switch for you, Master! No problem! Yeah.
Oh.
So... Don't buckle me. Hello everyone, welcome in. It is time. This camera is very close to me because I've moved it. So I'm like here, hi. Welcome into this week's Super R-CADE Show. I am joined as always by Lewis, Nadia, wearing braces? Wearing braces?
It's part of a pinafore skirt. It's a pinafore skirt.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. That makes sense. And the lovely Sam, looking very...
I have
summery.
crisps stuck in my teeth.
It's got Batman on it.
Batman! You got crisps in your teeth? What flavour of crisps? What kind of crisps? I know you showed them to me earlier, but for the stream, what you got, Sam?
I got Lay's strong hot pepperoni.
Hot pepperoni? Are they spicy?
They are quite spicy, yeah. Not like unbearably so.
Okay.
But it is like if I eat like 5 or 6 or 10, then I need to drink some water.
Fair.
Or if I just lick all of the powdery dust off of one.
Ice or dry.
Maybe you just need like a hummus or some sort of dip. Yeah.
Thank you, oh
maybe
my
hummus or
god.
dip.
I crunched while you were saying dip, so I thought you said a bad word.
I'm going to drink this in celebration of last night's victory for Team Coke. Well done, Team Coke. For those of you who missed it. What are you doing, Nadia?
I'm Team
Drinking
Agua.
Iron Brew because I'm not a tutor.
I made a mistake. Well, actually, Pizza Hut made a mistake and did this instead.
So, for those of you on the audio version of this in the future, I just opened a can of Coke for Team Coke, as we had our Mario Kart tournament last night, and it was Team Coke versus Team Pepsi, and Team Coke won the tournament, unfortunately. Mario Kart.
Team Coke
I'm not
finished
happy.
the
Not happy.
line.
Not happy. Beppis for the win, man. Beppis for the win. Not happy. Anyway, this is the Super R-CADE Show. This is our weekly catch-up with the team of R-CADE, and our weekly delve into the world of video games and what's been going on in the world of video games and all around the world. So we usually start off our show with a wee catch-up, and this week is going to be no different. So let's start with the person who's been missing actually for a couple of weeks. Let's talk to Nadia. Nadia, how are
We've all
you?
been missing for a couple of weeks.
This is
Things we need to get back on track. folks.
Brains. I'm good. I got my hair re-dyed today, which is why I was saying thank you to my gosh earlier, because he said he loves my hair. I've been in the Isle of Man for the last week or so, enjoying a relatively less COVID infested place. That was fun.
Was it weird?
It was like going into the supermarket and feeling like my face was naked. Was strange.
It's like a dream where you've woken up where you're walking around with no clothes on.
It felt weird. And then also like forgetting that I wasn't wearing a mask while I was in a supermarket, so when I was muttering to myself, people could see that I was muttering to myself. Which was awkward. There's not really many mask mandate things over there. Like people who work in the shops, some of them are wearing masks, and there's a thing of like if you feel comfortable, wear a mask, but they didn't have enough cases where it was really predominantly a point, and they've done a lot of vaccination, so the island's pretty secure-ish, but there was a lot going around schools because school kids obviously not getting in stuff, and their numbers were growing last time I seen them, but that's because now they have people coming from abroad, so we'll see how that goes. I got to see my niece for the first time since she was born. Well, I say meet her in person for the first time since she was born.
Down aggressively.
What was that, Sam? We missed that.
What?
Your mic cut out. What did you say?
Shake her up and down aggressively.
Ah, okay.
No,
like
she shakes herself up and down aggressively. She is a very not stationary child.
Okay.
but I love her. She's adorable, and she's such a bouncy child. I love her, and she's just such a happy child as well. But like, she will fake cry, and then when you go, well, you're fake crying, and you kind of give her a face about the fact that you know she's fake crying, and she just kind of looks at you and smirks. And I'm like, devious little child you are. What else has happened? Met my niece, that was fun. Saw my brother for the first time in a while, that was fun. I've been partially vaccinated now.
Woo!
50%.
What
30%.
Which one did they give you?
I got the Moderna,
You got Moderna.
and I had little to no side effects.
Yeah, same thing happened with
I had
me.
a sore arm and a wee bit of a sore head the day after, but I was pretty okay.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know whether the sore head was because it was hot and I hadn't drank enough water, or whatever, but painkillers fixed it, so...
I mean, from my discussions with people and my readings online, with the Pfizer and the Moderna ones, the first jab doesn't affect you too much. It's the second one that really knocks you on your ass. So,
Well, see, the thing is, I know people have got the Pfizer and Moderna, and who either jab has done nothing to them.
really, okay.
Yeah, like my dad's one. My dad got the Pfizer, and he was fine, both. But I suppose it does also come down to the way that they work, because Pfizer and Moderna work similarly, whereas AstraZeneca is different.
And Johnson & Johnson different again because it's the single jab. So yeah,
Yeah, although I don't think the Johnson & Johnson's really been used.
it's not used in the UK, as far as I know.
No.
We didn't get it.
Yeah, we don't get it, which is probably a good thing, because they had similar problems to the AstraZeneca, I think. But yeah, other than that, I can't think of what else I've been up to. I've got a bass guitar now.
What kind?
Oh, are you
of
gonna turn
ask you?
vegan?
We talked. We did. What was that?
So are you going to turn vegan? Dye
Why?
your hair white? Wear a number 3 on your chest? Date Brie Larson?
Who are you referring to?
Oh, right.
The kids,
I know.
the kids will get it. The cool kids back home will get it.
Well, yeah, if they've watched Scott Pilgrim in the last while. Or so.
Oh, okay.
Nadia
Yeah.
ruined the surprise.
Okay.
Yeah,
You say kids. I mean, how old is Scott Pilgrim the movie now?
quite a bit old.
Old enough to have kids.
Not really.
I wouldn't say it's that old.
Well,
But yeah, no, I got a bass guitar, and I now need to learn how to play it.
So we're starting an arcade band. Is that what's happening here?
Yeah. Do we have a drummer?
I can drum. I can any.
Right. Okay, but you can't play every instrument.
I'm not going to play every instrument. I'll just fill in the one that nobody can play.
I mean,
Nadia, have you not heard of a one-man band?
so, Andy,
Yes.
am I right in the fact that you can sing?
I like to pretend I can. Yeah.
Okay, better than me probably.
I don't know. I think we get Totana in to sing, if anything.
Yeah. To be fair, we've got me, Andy, Titana, and Sam can also sing.
Sam spent this week recycling a bunch of old lyric sheets. So Sam can 100% sing.
What do you bring,
We
Lewis?
could start. We could start a barbershop quartet.
No, we're not starting a barbershop.
No.
Oh. No, let's not do this. Sorry, Lewis. What can you bring?
I'll carry stuff, and my
Oh,
dad's got a
you're the
band.
roadie. Is that what we're saying? You're just
Yeah.
the roadie. Fair enough,
I
fair enough.
prepare stage
Access to
manager.
a van.
Alright?
Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, you could be Sam's
I'm gonna-
groupie if you want.
I mean, I'll be all your.
No, I'm okay, thanks.
That's
Sorry.
a big volunteer career there. That's you don't realise how much you're offering there, Lewis.
I'm offering all I've got to give.
Musicians have
That's what
needs.
everyone should do in the band. Alright.
Oh, God.
But yeah, other than that, I've not been up to much. How have you been, Lewis? Other than your groupiness.
My penis is just fine, thank you. I've been good. I've been getting on. I got my brother is positive for COVID, so I got my first ever COVID test today.
Yeah. Was it the
PCR.
PCR, not the lateral flow, the
Um,
PCR, yeah.
No, I have a little lateral flow one here with me, but I'll be gonna use it later. Not like later today. I mean like.
Instead of dinner,
Double
just
check.
a quick lateral
Yeah,
flow, and then you're good to go, yeah.
But my brain's a bit of a smoothie right now because they just freaking
Smooth brain.
jammed that thing right up there and went.
Yep.
You just swizzle it around. Yeah, it's like a McDonald's milkshashake. Yeah.
You become a lollipop
Exactly.
for a second.
Really, you do. So that's been me. I've been watching a lot of TV because obviously, what else are you gonna do? I'm actually really excited, and thanks for pointing out. Oh gosh, about lighting. I know that's probably not what you meant, but it's finally getting cold enough that I can have my lighting properly, because when you got the window fully open because it's too warm, you can't see all this stuff. But
Yeah.
that's how we get
I like that
I've watched
on this topic. Clipping all of our wonderful clips from R-CADE 2 for the end of the month, R-CADE 2 clips that you can see on our YouTube channel. Watching back Lewis's stream from Friday, I like that he said in that stream, I should really get a fan, but I'm trying to save money. And then about 20 minutes later he goes, I want to order a Domino's. And then he started our stream today going, Domino's messed up my order. So we know what his priorities were.
Pizza Hut.
Of course, you should always put food as a priority. But I watched. You were talking about this earlier. I watched The Witcher TV series again because obviously the second season's coming out.
I haven't
And I
even seen it
also
once.
went and rewatched Chernobyl.
Oh, nice! I've been meaning to watch that again. Yeah. Mission, I really enjoyed that.
So now I just need to find some other show to.
Can I give you a
watch
suggestion?
and binge
Actually,
again.
can I give
Is
you a
it that
suggestion?
home one that's on Netflix with the monsters and stuff? Because I
No,
can't sit here.
no,
and
it's
that.
an old
I also
series.
give you a suggestion.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Nadia, do you want to have one as well?
Depends on what their two suggestions are, because I do have one, but it depends on what theirs is.
Andrew?
Should I
Andy,
go
what's
first?
yours?
Okay.
Yeah.
My suggestion is
Pen.
because of your love for Stargate. I believe you love Stargate as much as I do. Have you seen Dark Matter?
I have not.
So
Oh,
Dark
that's
Matter is Joseph Malozzi. I just finished watching season 3. It's the Joseph Malozzi who basically wrote a lot of the scripts and was a showrunner for Stargate, the original series from season 3 onwards, and he did Stargate Atlantis as well. Dark Matter is a Canadian sci-fi show written and produced by Joseph Malozzi, based on the comic book that he and one of the other showrunners did together. So they made a comic book, then turned it into a TV series, and it is very. If you love Stargate, then you'll love Dark Matter. It there's a few of the cast members from Atlantis that show up as well, like Terry Higgison. I think I can't remember her name. She was the main actress from Atlantis, the captain. The commander, sorry. Anyway, Dark Matter is my suggestion. It's on Amazon Prime. Check it out.
What's your suggestion?
I'm going to say the name, but then there's a really important bit of information that you need to wait for afterwards. So
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I think you should watch the new iCarly, because she can say bitch now.
Okay.
Oh, no. Is that it?
That was my suggestion. Yeah.
My suggestion is a show called Sweet Tooth, unless you've
Alright.
already watched that.
I haven't, but I had it recommended.
So yeah, for people that don't know, Sweet Tooth was a comic book. I'm trying to figure out because there's something specific about it.
Robert Downey Jr. and his wife,
Nope.
whose name currently escapes me, are the producers and directors for it.
For iCarly.
Oh.
Yeah, they were the ones who told her she can say bitch now.
Yeah,
RDJ's
they
like-
are.
Say bitch. Do it. It'll get the ratings. I swear to God, say it. Do it.
Got
Yeah,
the YouTube
so-
clips.
Sweet Tooth is a series based in a world where a virus outbreak occurs.
Funnily enough.
I mean, the real world, do you mean?
Yeah, a virus outbreak occurs around about the same time as a virus outbreak occurs. There are babies being born with animal features, like
Wow.
babies
Oh,
being born
is that
with
the
like
deer thing?
noses and
Yes,
antlers,
I
and
saw that.
yeah,
I went past
yeah.
it.
And it's right. So it's done really well. Like the CGI and the how they do all that. It looks really, really like there's moments where you look at the kid and just go, oh, because little deer ears flop down and stuff like that. So basically, it follows a couple of the characters. One of the main characters is one nicknamed Sweet Tooth, who's a little deer boy, who's spent his whole childhood kind of being protected in a forest by his dad, and then something happens, and basically he's now having to travel to find other people, and there's a lot of it jumps between different people, like a doctor who's trying to find a cure, and this other haven for because these children are now being hunted down because they appeared at the same time as this pandemic. People are assuming that they are the ones behind it, or that there's a way to find the cure based on them, so they're hunted down and experimented on and things like that. So there's a lot of like cruelty to children and experimentation going on. So if you're not cool with like you don't like that in media, don't watch it.
This is the worst recommendation ever. Like,
but it's a good it's a good show.
Okay, I did see it. I spotted it on my way through Netflix the other day. So it's Netflix. It's on, yeah. Sorry.
Yes, it's on Netflix. Omar Gosh is asking if you could have any part of an animal, what would you choose?
I'd choose a horse.
So does everyone else have this? Or am I
Take their nice shiny coat.
You just want to be covered in horsehair?
Shiny horsehair.
Would you like the mane? Would you have the mane too? Would you
I'm full after my starter usually.
You could be a minotaur.
That's a bull.
Oh, it's a bull.
I'm not
You mean
good
a
at
centaur?
physical. I'm not
Centaur,
good at
sorry.
physical
Thank you,
labor.
thank you, Nadia. Yes, yes.
Liz, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, does everyone else have it, or am I like
Oh no, I
nature in this situation?
nah, if I was an animal person, I'd have fox ears and a foxtail.
I would just.
Mostly just so that I could just hold the foxtail and pet my own tail.
Can I just be an otter? Is that okay?
No, because the facts I've learned about otters mean you don't want to be an otter because otters are kind of assholes.
I'd like the temperament of a capybara.
Right, a conversation for later, not on stream, about why otters you don't want to be. Like, otters are bad for the same way that ducks and dolphins are also kind of bad.
Oh, okay.
What happened to you at that nature reserve?
Can I have the eyes of a hawk? Well,
Can I can I just have the face of a capybara?
Gentle and trusting.
Is that what the...
Oh,
Oh god, Dando!
wait for people to come in.
Alright, I'm going to have to do a thing. 1 second, I'll be right back.
Yep.
Oh no, Dando! Dando, what have you done? Thank you, Dando! For raiding us! Don't even know if in time. Welcome in, you raiders! How are you? How's Dando? What were you playing? Grand Theft Auto 5, were you role-playing? I'm guessing you will. Thanks for reading R-CADE, thanks for reading us. Thanks for reading R-CADE Glasgow, thanks for reading us. Thanks for reading R-CADE, thanks for reading us. How's yourself, Dando? How's yourself? Dando, you legend. Oh, and a follow for the sensual walrus. Thank you, walrus, for following. Oh, it's not, it's Guspo. Thank you, Guspo, for following. And then there's walrus. I'll have to do them all. I'll have to do them all. Thank you, walrus, you're sensual. Thank you so much for following. Who else? Main man Tim. Nice. Thank you, Tim, for the follow. Thank you so much for following R-CADE. I'm Grandpa. How are you? Good? I'm good, man. I'm good. No bad. Guspo! What's happening? I'm gonna get this guys back in.
Okay.
Everybody, hello. Say hi to the raid.
Hiya.
Raid.
What's happening? Could you hear me at all? No, I did deafen myself properly, yeah?
Yeah, you did yourself. I'm starting talking now, you know you can't hear you, right?
Can't believe I haven't
Hello,
followed you guys
welcome,
yet.
readers.
Guspo, what are you doing?
Welcome to R-CADE Glasgow. Specifically, welcome to the Super R-CADE Show. It's our weekly show where we talk about the latest and greatest of video game news. We also catch up on how each other's feeling, and we play one of our many little mini games just to whet your appetite for some of the lovely things we have available exclusively on our Patreon.
Sorry, Sam,
We were just in the
again.
middle of talking about embarrassing facts about otters or something like that. And then I
No,
noticed
we were
got
talking
followed
about
by
it was
sensual
more that
walrus.
we got sidetracked from the fact that Lewis was telling us how he was.
Yeah, that's right.
We did.
Um,
we did. We actually were in the middle of doing TV recommendations. Actually, yeah, it was fun. Dando, thanks for the raid, and thank you everyone for the new follows.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is the Super R-CADE Show, and Lewis, if you want to continue, how have you been?
I'm done, which is
He's done. You passing it on then?
yeah. I'm sum up for everybody that came in. Got my first COVID test. Brain got mixed up in smoothie, and been watching a lot of TV. Witcher and Chernobyl. Sam,
Lovely.
how's your week been?
I'm going to speed through this because we're running out of time to get
Go
all
for
of
it,
our
mate.
things in just 1 hour.
Cliff notes.
I did the lights. That was
see
fun.
your new
I
lights,
put up
yes.
actually, no one's commented on the lights. You've lost the chance now, Andrew, because now it just feels like I'm asking people to
I
comment.
thought we
on
had
lights.
more
So,
time. I'm sorry.
Did the lights?
Already
I did the
did.
lights. I put up the figures. It's been great. Booked a train ticket. I'm going back down to London on Friday. So hello, I'm back in Arcade for 2 weeks and I leave again. Sad face. But love conquers all, sadly. So I need to go down to
true.
London before I am locked in a television studio. Thank you, Gus Bo on Twitch. Thank you, my new best friend. So yeah, my week's been fine. Just still doing stuff in the new flat, setting up bits and pieces here, getting furniture and whatnot sorted, all nice and comfy. Seeing friends, I guess. Seeing a friend. I don't know. I'm just trying to say things and get it out of my system quickly because we're running out of time. I need to ask Andrew
Yes.
how his week's been. So we've already talked to Nadia and Lewis.
That's fine. You missed Nadia and Lewis. If you want to catch up, you can always catch the show up again on Spotify. It will go live just after we finish, actually, probably about 7, 8 o'clock tonight. Find us on Spotify. The Super R-CADE Show, just search for that, nice and easy. We do this every Tuesday from 5 p.m. live on Twitch, so if you want to watch the show as it happens, come and find us, and we'll do it then. Me, what have I been up to this week? Not much, honestly. Playing a lot of Anthem for some weird, messed up reason. I have no idea why, but I decided to download Anthem, the EA/BioWare looter shooter. And I'm freaking enjoying it, and I don't know why. It gives me like
Nobody else knows why either.
it gives me heavy like Dragon Age sort of Mass Effect vibes because it is BioWare, which makes sense. The dialogue stuff and the story stuff's really kind of cool. And I'm really enjoying it. I think the other reason I downloaded it is because obviously what happened with which I don't think any of us are going to talk about as part of our gaming news. What happened with brain.
Activision and Blizzard.
Blizzard, that's the one. Thank you, Activision Blizzard. The stories coming out of their studio, and the awful nonsense that's been going down over there. Meaning that a lot of the games that I had slated in my back catalogue that I was going to start playing, I've completely taken them out. So I've gone down the EA route instead, and started playing Anthem. And there you go. So yeah, Mish, I can do the button if you want. There's the Discord button. Oh, you've got the button. I'm sorry. Thank you. But yeah, apart from that, playing Anthem, chilling out, sort of trying to figure out how we can reopen Arcade. We've got some new stuff happening next week, hopefully. I've been given my date for my second COVID injection, so I'm getting stabbed next week for more COVIDs, my second Pfizer. So looking forward to that. That will probably hurt a lot, so kind of a bit nervous about it too, but it should be fine. But aside from that, not being up to much. That's pretty much been me. That's my flash cliff notes of, how I've been really annoyed that Team Pepsi lost last night in our Mario Kart tournament, but I've already mentioned that, so we're not going to go back.
Does that mean you have to drink Coke for the rest of your life?
I mean, Mesh doesn't like Pepsi, and I don't mind Coca-Cola. I love Pepsi more, but it's fine.
Does this mean that whatever? So the weekly Mario Kart tournament is a weekly event. If the word
Correct.
weekly confused you, having been said once.
Every Monday night.
And now Andrew's introduced a stipulation where it's 2 teams go up against each other. So I'd like to introduce this stipulation that Andrew cannot consume, interact with whatever the losing team.
So
if
whatever
his team
loses, I have to take out of my life for how long?
Whatever for the rest of the calendar year.
For the rest of the
T-shirts,
year?
these turtlenecks.
I had a idea for it, and you know how like people always talk about toilet paper over or under.
Which one are you, Andrew? Because if your team loses, you have to do the
There's
other.
a wrong answer to that question.
Yes, under. Why would you do that? It touches
Yeah.
the wall. Why would you
It
do
just
that?
strokes the wall.
I don't. Why are you're rubbing your butt with wall?
In the wall.
Might as well just shit on the wall.
Bathroom, you don't want it to touch a surface in your bathroom.
No. I touch every surface in my back. As soon as I
He goes in the room like I suppose keeps it clean.
rubbing up against things, gyrating like hell.
Okay, good suggestion, Lewis. I will put it on the list. Thank you very much. If you want to take part in next week's Mario Kart tournament, it is 8 p.m. on a Monday night, live here on Twitch. If you have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the Switch, you can join in. Next week's two teams is going to be Team Pizza Hut versus Team Domino's. So you get to battle it out for the brand of your choice. And then apparently now, whichever one loses, I can't eat for the rest of the year. So there you go. That's the stipulation. Should we get on with some video?
Doesn't even get a team.
What? Team Papa John's was originally it was originally going to be Papa John's versus Domino's, and then Totana quite rightly pointed out Papa John's doesn't deserve a team.
Yeah.
So it became
Papa John's
Pizza
gave me
Hut versus
food poisoning once, so they definitely don't deserve a team. What about a team for the people that don't like pizza?
Well, you can.
You're
You don't
take
have Mario
part.
Kart, so it doesn't matter.
Touching a wall.
Oh my gosh, you don't want
Don't
to.
touch a wall,
You don't
would you?
want to. Don't do it. Don't do it. Right, guys. As part of the Super Arcade Show, we chat about ourselves for a while, and then we
Shit.
talk about the latest gaming news coming out of the world. So,
Gaming news.
let's do that. It's time for this.
Sales in the billions of dollars. We have Domino's Pizza is number 1
Yes.
with $7.04 billion. Then it's Pizza Hut at $5.56 billion.
Little Caesars.
Please say it's Pizza Express or something.
Then it's Little Caesars with 3.81, and then it's Papa John's with 2.64. But underneath Papa John's is Papa Murphy's with 0.75.
Oh, poor Papa Murphy's.
Which I've never heard of.
Anyway, speaking of pizzas, it's time for the gaming news. That has nothing to do with gaming at all.
Pizza gaming.
You want a slice of gaming news? Well, we're going to give you a pizza that pie.
This is why I pay him to do this thing. Yeah, that's it. That's it. There you go. Each week we all come together with a gaming news piece that we've had put on our faces by Google or Facebook or whatever, and we didn't want it. It got shoved in our faces, and we bring it to you guys to have a little discussion.
I wanted
about.
my gaming news this week at least.
That's fair. That is fair.
I have to hunt for gaming news because I should not be employed here. I don't see any gaming news unless I look for it. If you want me to bring news that I've seen in my daily life, I'll tell all of you that your phones are being spied on, but I can't bring you gaming
That's
news.
not news. Everybody knows that.
News.
Yeah,
we all know
but
that.
did you know that governments are buying the software so that they can
Yes.
kill political opposition?
Yeah, mostly
Yeah.
Russia, China, US. Yeah.
No, Mexico.
Oh,
and
Mexico are in it now.
The
Okay.
Netherlands.
They
Woo.
didn't already do that?
That's a twist. The Netherlands is a twist.
Anyway,
Every country buys it.
speaking of governments doing things they shouldn't, we're going to move on to my piece of news first, which is the 2020, 2021. I don't know what to call it now.
2020.
Call it the 2020
2020.
Olympics.
Are they still doing the same as Euros?
You've
It's the
already
2020
printed
Olympics. And the news is the opening ceremony where there were...
20.
The opening ceremony for this year's Olympic Games in Tokyo featured quite a good soundtrack of video game tunes. There was songs from Kingdom Hearts, songs from Final Fantasy, songs from Sonic, as well as what else was there? There was a few different tracks. They opened with sorry.
There was some anime.
There was some anime as well. I
Attack
think
on Titan was for the archery right now.
somebody pointed out the fact that all the sort of name boards for the countries were like anime manga style, with like acts were played as part of the entrance for the different countries. But what happened? What didn't happen was there was no Nintendo. Nintendo didn't show at all. Which is weird because at the end of the 2016 Olympics in Rio, in the handover ceremony from Rio, strangely, and there was like animation, Mario animation as part of the sequence and everything. So Nintendo basically just went, nah, we don't want anything to do with this. And it seems to be part of the backlash the Olympics has had in Japan, where a lot of people are protesting against it because they feel
the entirety of the Olympic opening ceremony, and while they continue to be the sponsors as far as I'm aware, their CEO and a number of other members of high office decided not to show up to the event.
Yeah, I mean it's a bit of a weird one because I thought there was no Mario and Sonic Olympic Games video game for this year's Olympics, but there was, and I just missed it because it came out 2 years ago. Did anybody else know that there was a Mario and Sonic Olympic Games Tokyo?
Oh yeah.
No, but then I haven't. Now we've just got this.
Let it play. Let it
No,
play.
it's not on screen
No.
anymore. Nobody
I
can
want
see
to
it.
watch the
No.
gymnastics.
That's fine. I'll leave it for Sam to watch.
Right, okay. Not really. Didn't realise that. I think the last Sonic and Mario Olympics I played was several years ago.
The last one I played is the Wii U one, which was Rio 2016. Yeah,
No, mine was the DS. Not even a 3DS. The Nintendo DS.
the really old one. Wow. Wow.
If it didn't happen within the last week, it could be years ago to me because time's just so
The
messed
console.
up.
This is true. I mean, so Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games 2020 was released in 2019, the Tokyo one. The official Olympics video game was also released 2 years ago, but only released in Japan. It never released over in the UK or the US or in the Western world, basically, until this year because the Olympics was delayed. And it was weird because the game released a couple of months ago to zero fanfare. Basically because they still weren't even sure whether or not the Tokyo Olympic Games were actually going to go ahead this year at that point. So Sega, who developed the game, just went, just go. Just release it. Let everyone have it. They can play it, whatever. We're not really bothered
And if you don't
anymore.
want to play it, but you do want to see everything it has in store, then you should go and join our Patreon at either the top 2 tiers, and you can watch me play it this Sunday.
There you go. There you go. That was my segue into that, actually. It was a little bit of an advertising kick for Patreon, so thank you, Sam, for noticing.
Andrew, these things work better if you don't then acknowledge that you were doing.
Oh,
the
sorry.
segue
I meant
after.
to say that while muted. Sorry.
I'm-
Oops.
Yeah. I'm also not impressed by this bronze gymnastics.
This
Sorry,
one's
That one was okay.
the stream
I can't
can't
even-
see it.
They can't see it. They can't see it. Well, I
No.
can put it on screen. Do you want to see it?
No,
No.
we'll get
No.
into problems. Stream can't see it, and anyone listening to the audio can't see it. I feel like we should start just putting videos on for us to watch while we're talking about things.
See how it goes.
But the thing I saw, obviously there was a huge amount of problems with the International Athletics Commission banning mainly Black American athletes from various different sports for reasons that they hadn't banned any other ethnicity of athlete.
What you mean,
for.
like, oh, they're too good at this. Let's
No,
ban
no,
them
no.
in some way.
They've got a high level of testosterone and can run very fast. We can't let you compete until you take a drug that lowers that. But Michael Phelps, you having the same lack of lactic acid buildup is a great advantage for you. Good job.
Yeah.
Or a load of articles coming out talking about how athletes for the Olympics are embracing the curative powers of CBD and of marijuana. But when an American sprinter tested positive for weeds, they were told you're not allowed to come.
Right, but I want to. Right, that absolutely baffles me because in no way is weed a performance-enhancing drug. If anything, she
was gonna
gave
say
herself
that,
like
yeah.
weighted, like she gave herself ankle weight. She's Rock Lee at this point. If she stops, she's like,
More
Yeah,
to
but
the
she's
point,
Rock Lee.
anyone-
She's Rock Lee, but she can't take the weights off. That's the difference.
no.
more to the point.
But she
People said at the
just,
time,
she stopped smoking and suddenly bang, you'll never see her.
if she had this was in celebration. The smoking of weed was in celebration of the victory in the pre-Olympic trials. If she'd smoked a cigar or had champagne, no one would have cared.
Yeah.
Same thing. But the reason I bring this up is with the gymnastics. Simone Biles, incredibly famous international athlete and gymnast, was told that she wasn't allowed to use 2 different moves that she invented because it wouldn't be fair for the other competitors.
She was the
'cause
only one that could do
'cause
them.
No one else could do them.
Well, that
Yes.
happened in figure skating a few years ago.
That's
Like
right.
a few years ago, where there was one. It was a figure skater, and as to anyone's surprise, it was a black figure skater, and she could do like a flip on the skates and land it and not kill herself while doing it, and they basically banned it from competition because they're like, oh well, people are going to try and repeat it and they will just hurt themselves, even though this one woman can do it.
And that's the Olympics chat.
That's the Olympics chat. It's still ongoing. Go check it out. And
congratulations to that 13-year-old Japanese girl who smoked a bunch of adults at skateboarding.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Nice. We're moving on to Lewis's news, actually. So I think there's been some more news coming out of Battlefield 2042. Is that correct?
There has been, and there is, and it's pretty huge actually, because it's so it's called Battlefield 2042 Portal, which makes it sound weird. I don't think Portal is a very good name, but I love what they're doing with it, and it's essentially the custom game of your dreams. Like, you want to have freaking 200 EOD repair robots against one tank, you can do that. You want to have World War II soldiers versus an elite squad of like 2000s US Marines, you can do that. It's crazy. Like,
it's basically
essentially
pulling stuff from all. Is Battlefield's 1942?
So it's
I've got all the
4
deets
games here.
Yes.
Yeah, it's 1942, Battlefield Bad Company,
Yep.
Battlefield 3, and then Battlefield 2042.
Yeah.
Specifically Bad Company 2.
Bad Company
Yeah.
2, that's right. So you can
For-
basically
for
pull
launch.
in all of this stuff into a creator and make your own custom game type. Is that that's why? Because I watched the announcement during EA Play and I was like, really? That's mental, because they were like going up like you said, World War II kind of stuff, going up against Modern Warfare type stuff. You know, like this is mental. But really, really cool. But you've mentioned it's like, it kind of reminds me of Total Tabs. Totally Accurate Battlegrounds, where you can like have one thing versus a million of another thing, and it's like, wow.
they're doing so much custom stuff with it's been totally unheard of throughout the entirety of Battlefield. It's just for those like crazy moments, and it's including I believe 6 or 7 maps.
So specifically for you, 6 maps, 2 from each of the games at launch from Battlefield 1942. It's the Battle of the Bulge and El Alamein. From Bad Company 2, it's Arica Harbor and Valparaiso. And from Battlefield 3, it's Caspian Border and the Nashar. I've written that down so poorly. But the Nashar Canals. There you go.
Some of the favourite maps from the community, basically. They're doing it's
all
kind
of
of a
them-
love letter to the community, is what they're saying, isn't it?
All of them with graphical upgrades and updates for certain maps to allow for 128 players.
Yeah.
And then on top of the 7, they're coming with the game just on release for their all-out warfare mode. You can, like, there's going to be so much for you. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, because a lot of the older games didn't necessarily have the same destruction mechanics as the newer games, but they've fully updated that and reworked them for this mode, and they put in customization for like headshot damage percentage, team balances, like AI bots. So if you wanted, you could just go in, have a PvE mode just to yourself and some buddies, and everything will be hosted on EA's own servers.
Yep.
So with potential, so there was a bit of a specification about that. Each player will be able to have access to their own server at launch to customize as they want through a separate web portal out with the game. You don't even need to own the game to make these customizations, but you do need to own the game to play whatever you make. They are toying with the idea that if one server isn't enough for each person, then they can do like a renting system in the future, which I think is an interesting.
It's what they've done in the past.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is they had server renting. Another thing coming out of this is they're going to have an online portal. Portal was the wrong word there. Online webpage where you can customize the server through that, so you don't need to be in the game So
you can do it individually, separately of the game.
If,
But that's
if
what I'm
you're
talking
like
about.
a community manager, you can be away on holiday or something, and then
And people can
pick
still play
something.
within it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the only way. You can't do it in game.
Yeah.
It's online exclusively.
I
Pretty cool.
enjoyed the knife fight versus defibrillator.
Yeah. I enjoyed the like explosive throwing jeep into a carrier.
That was impressive.
I enjoyed shooting a Spitfire down with an RPG.
Yeah, that's it.
So that was cool.
That feels unfair, but I'll allow it.
Yeah.
I suppose you could just make the hit point deficit way higher for the Spitfire and maybe even it out a bit.
Just put some better armor plating on the Spitfire. It'd be better. It'd be good. Cool.
Very quickly, specifically as well, there's a return of 40 former vehicles and 40 former weapons from the series.
Yeah,
on top of all those different things.
Yeah. That's cool, man. That's cool. What's the release date for 2042 again? Now is it November?
It'll be releasing on October 22nd.
Yes. Actually, I've just clicked forward on that trailer and it says July 22nd. I'm like, that was like 5 days ago. What are you talking about?
That's prepare for more.
That was just like
that was the
all the information
that was the
in it.
reveal thing. Yeah.
Of it.
Yes.
You may be wondering why R-CADE 2's had a shout out in chat, just because I'll be playing Totally Accurate Battleground Simulator this week on stream at some point.
Are you? Yeah.
So come and hang out.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're following that account so you can see when we go live, because it's random.
Well, Sam, we'll move on to your news piece then. Next, you've got something about Peleton. Is that right?
No. I just want to talk about Usain Bolt.
Really?
No, I do something about Peleton. Mine is just a general article by USA Today talking about a number of different mixed media, multimedia organizations who are getting into the video game sphere. Within the last month, you've had Amazon, Netflix, Peloton, and Zoom have all announced that they're going to start implementing video games in some respect of their business practices. And we know ourselves from personal experience with the website backyard.co that Discord is also going to be doing that. They're going to be introducing forms of gaming into their ethos and ecosystem as well. Sorry. Mm-hmm. So just it was an overall conversation about that. The Peloton thing specifically, if Andrew's he wants to pull up a photo.
Yeah.
Peloton is bringing out a rhythm game called Lane Break, which reported from their early reports from their internal testing is that this is something that is interesting buyers. Like, it's making people want to get a Peloton that weren't likely to get it previously, and I can see that. It is spending a lot of money just to play a video game, so I don't think that's the reason. But I do think if you're someone who wants to lose weight and wants to use like an exercise bike at home, having interactive measures like this is quite a good way to get you to buy. And part of that probably comes into Netflix, as I mentioned, also be getting into games, and they are looking at getting into video games in some respect as a cost-benefit analysis for the consumer. For how much content are you going to get access to from your initial purchase, or for supporting this industry or this product or this company. So from Peloton's perspective, we're still delivering the same service, but we have to make that more enticing to an ever-competitive consumer base. That being said, I think most people know the Peloton bikes at this point.
I mean, it's a curious one because I feel like Netflix charges too much for what it currently provides its consumers. Just to give you an example, I've recently got a 4K Ultra HD television, and so I'm looking at the costs, therefore, of 4K content, or for content providers exactly. So I already have Amazon Prime, and a lot of 4K content is provided at no extra charge as part of their standard package. So you pay $7.99 a month and you get 4K content. YouTube has 4K content as well, again, no extra charge for that. And Disney Plus, which is it $9.99 a month for Disney Plus, I think, at the moment, or possibly $7.99 as well. That also is no extra charge for 4K content. However, with Netflix, if you want to watch 4K Ultra HD, you need to be on the highest tiered package, which is $13.99. If you're on just a standard one at $9.99 or the lowest end one at $7.99, you don't get access to that. There are other benefits like multi-screen, so multiple people with the same account you can have up to 4 screens on the highest one, only 2 on the second, and then just 1 screen on the bottom tier. But like Netflix charged $13.99 for me to be able to access, and it is a lot of 4K content that they have compared to a lot of the other providers. But it's still nearly twice the price of Amazon, just for example. Amazon is $7.99, and there's lots of 4K content that I've watched on there already, and I've nearly exhausted it. And all the new stuff that comes out, like say for example Grand Tour, Clarkson's Farm is the latest one, and a lot of their Amazon original TV shows are in 4K as well. So I think the gaming thing for Netflix is a nice add-on, and if they don't change their pricing platform and they keep it leveled where it is and it adds another benefit to the consumer, then it's a good thing. By all means.
I'm not sure based on the fact that it's mobile games specifically and no details have come out yet about are those going to be separate apps that you have to download, are those going to be integrated into the Netflix app for mobile?
Yeah.
Is that supposed to be enticing people to continue to support Netflix by buying a subscription? Or is this going to be an alternative revenue stream for them? I don't know which one they're going for just yet. They've not given enough information to ask about it, basically.
I think they're trying to just leave as many doors open as possible, I think, if that's the case.
But I will really quickly, sorry Lewis, and then you can jump in. This quote from their CEO Reed Hastings, acknowledging that this is a very dangerous thing for them to be getting into. The track record of legacy video entertainment companies developing their own video game is very poor. So they're aware of like the history with doing something like this, as you would expect them to be. Sorry, Lewis, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say that I was under the impression that it was more like their Black Mirror's Bandersnatch style, more like a visual
interactive story kind of thing. Yeah.
So
interactive story.
Andrew did
like
bring that
up games.
Yesterday.
Yes.
But in looking into it, the main thing that's been announced from them is that they're working on a Stranger Things mobile game. It's not an interactive game; it is a mobile game.
Okay.
Whether that takes the form of like a Wolf Among Us type thing, is again not enough details out there to know. But it is a mobile game, is what they've announced.
It's interesting because one of the news stories that I sort of skimmed by doing research earlier was that Amazon are also trying to get into gaming as well. They're launching their new MMO, or it's in beta test at the moment, which is called New World. Amazon also were supposed to be developing the Lord of the Rings MMO, but they cancelled that. They had their looter shooter from last year, which they also canned after like 6 months, which was the Weird Animal one, if you remember that. I can't remember the name of it, but we did talk about it. But Amazon are also trying to go down that gaming route as well, and they're obviously doing is it Amazon Luna, which is their sort of game streaming sort of Stadia style service, which is only in the US at the moment. So it's like all of the companies, like Sam mentioned at the top of this story, Netflix, Amazon, even Peleton, they're all sort of trying to get their finger into the gaming pie. Just to sort of build on their portfolio, I think. Which is
so this USA Today article, video games playing on the minds of Amazon, Netflix, Peloton, and Zoom, did specifically talk about Amazon, but as a negative. So they talked about the fact that by 2023, the video game market worldwide is expected to balloon to $200 billion. Is what it's expected to get to. Amazon is an example of someone who's failing in the space at the moment. As you've just listed there, they've got a number of different cancelled games. Yeah. And since acquiring Twitch for $1 billion a couple of years ago, they haven't done too much with it. Obviously, Twitch is still a cash cow at the moment, and it's only gaining popularity. It's probably not quite hit its peak. So they're probably still making their money back on something like that, on that investment, on that purchase, but they've not innovated it in any way.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot to be interested in. Maybe not excited by, because these are not gaming companies. Yeah. These are just large corporations looking to get into gaming. For Andy Sapien, Zoom is integrating Heads Up, the game that Ellen DeGeneres made, and Kahoot, which is a popular gaming service in the US, as well as other things, are getting integrated into the service.
Well, that's
sorry, Nadia, what were you going to say?
No, Nadia, yes.
No, it's just a bunch of. It's a bunch of companies that don't necessarily have a background in gaming, who don't necessarily understand the process, and as Amazon has done, is basically fapped the process quite a lot. aiming higher than maybe what they should. But suffice to say, that hopefully at some point they actually start, either
Most of
hiring
them
people that know what they're doing,
have.
or
That was the thing with
I-
Amazon. It's suspicious that Amazon haven't done well because they did hire a former Oculus and Sony and PlayStation
Yep. That's true.
exec
What's her
as their
name? Yeah.
head. So
Yeah, that's right.
they are doing it. It's just
so
a
here's the thing though, that's an executive, and executives sometimes don't actually know the actual process of
They
games
forget what the
making.
lower down is.
You're
Yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah.
but they do know
Yeah.
how to hire people that do,
This
and
is
that's
true.
more what
Yeah,
I'm
is
saying.
what you'd expect.
If they have a track record, of it, yeah.
I
We'll see how that
have been
goes.
hearing good things about New World, the
Mhm.
MMO that Amazon's making.
New World has been it was the highest concurrent player count on Steam for the last couple of weeks, 200,000 or something like that for the beta. It's been doing very, very well. So fingers crossed they keep that
Yeah,
up.
hopefully they've finally figured out the formula, and the formula might actually be stop using existing IPs
Yeah.
and just create your own thing. I'd like to say that to most of the games industry
But
and the film industry and
Oh.
TV.
speaking
That's the
of
last quote.
games and New Worlds,
Sorry, just on
Yeah.
Nadia's thing.
Oh, so time.
Last piece of news.
Netflix's focus with this, just very, very quickly, because what you said reminded me of it. Their thing with it is that creating video games does allow them to have an independent, self-created IP that they can build on and create a long-lasting thing for people to invest in, similar to them
Franchise, yeah.
creating their own television shows and
Yeah.
movies and
What
things.
I think Netflix are going to do, and they've already proved it kind of by what you said, that they were currently in development of a mobile game for, they are going to try to make games based on their shows or original movies.
Their
Which
IPs.
means they're going to go down the phase that was the late 90s, early 2000s of video games based on movies, which never did well, and it's why it's not really an industry anymore.
Oh, I don't
Why?
have a copy of
It's
Aladdin.
after they
I
pulled
don't have a
out
copy of Aladdin. I'm
every
not going to
version. Yes.
The little point that I was going to make also was that off the back of the Zoom thing, Discord obviously are collaborating or working, or I think they've actually taken the team on of a company that we used to use, Backyard, and so Backyard is being integrated into Discord, which will provide games in Discord, which I can't wait for. I'm really
Yeah, we're looking
excited
forward to that.
to get my.
We'll see how
I'm
that
so
goes.
looking forward to it. That was the first thing I said from this story.
Was it? I didn't catch it. I'm so sorry, Sam.
It's fine. We've got one more bit of news. Nadia,
do.
take it away.
What's going on, Nadia?
Okay, so the last bit of news, to no one's surprise, who
Well,
knows
why are you not wearing your T-shirt for this? Why are you not wearing your T-shirt for this?
Nadia explained that over an hour ago to you, Andrew. She explained it before we went live.
I know. I just wanted to point it out on stream because that's the
Do you
ages.
play Genshin Impact? My next piece of news is about the newly released Genshin Impact update. I say newly released, it was released on the 21st, but there's been a bit of a build up to it with the 1.6 update that I spoke about last month. We are now getting the Genshin Impact 2.0 release, which introduces the land of Inazuma and the Electro Archon Baal, aka the Raiden Shogun in this. So as the Raiden Shogun thing kind of gives away, Inazuma is somewhat based off of Japan. As you can see in all these pictures, there's all the images, there's the cherry blossoms and things like that. The basic story about this is that Inazuma has been closed off to the rest of Tibet, which is the big world. It's been closed off because the Archon doesn't really want people coming in. There's the Archon of Eternity. She doesn't really want other people coming into her land. And within Inazuma, some terrible crap's been happening because she's basically stealing visions from people, and visions are basically the magical powers that some people have that is gifted to them by the gods. So she's literally going, no, you don't deserve God's power, and I'm putting this away. Yes,
what
Liz?
is an Archon?
So an Archon is basically a god. It's a higher god, and there's 7 Archons. At this point, we've already met 2, which is the god of wind, the sort of animal god. Animal is the wind powers. Barbatos, he's in Mondstadt, and we've met
Slam dunk.
the Rex Lapis / Morax or / Zhongli, who is the Geo Archon, which is the god of Earth of Liyue. So now we get to meet the goddess Baal. This is the first goddess we're getting introduced to, although we know that there are other goddesses. and she is apparently a stone cold bitch. Which is good. So this is fun, where we get to meet the first one that's actually an enemy of ours, rather than a potential enemy of ours, rather than a ally. The Traveler, who is the main character of the game, and now has now gained electro abilities. As you know, as is usual in Genshin, when you go to the different regions, you gain the power of that, the element of that region. New player characters have been introduced alongside other new characters. The new player characters are Ayama, who is a 5-star cryo user. She's a sword user, which is on screen right now.
Nice.
She's very, very fancy. And
Very
we've also
posh.
got.
If you could hear
And
the
she
audio.
she's sort of like a lady of her clan.
Yeah.
She like
so she's
hits
sort of
people and
in
goes,
charge.
"Oh, I'm so sorry."
No, she doesn't do that. She just batters them. This on screen now is a 4-star character called Yoimiya. She is a fireworks professional, and her ability is unsurprisingly pyro, and she's an archer.
Yes.
She's quite badass. I really quite like her outfit. Ayama is currently the banner running, and I think Yoimiya and the next one's Sayu. This is Sayu, who is adorable. She is an animal
ninja.
user, and has a claymore. She's a claymore user.
Tiny
The
girl.
Claymore user.
Giant.
Yeah, it's also
Teeny
like this
with
stuff.
giant sword. Yes.
Nice,
You
nice.
can't hear the
Sayu.
audio, but she is portrayed as like a sleepy panda of a human being.
Yes.
Like a ret-
So
okay.
yes, the region has got new enemies, new weapons, new artifacts, and new mechanics that you run about and solve. And the storyline looks like it's going to be pretty cool. I've already kind of started it. I'm kind of working my way through it, but I need to get through it. This t-shirt is so warm.
Sorry, take it off if you need to.
That's
Sorry.
fine.
I know.
I'll do it as per minute. Also, what's been introduced, so there's new enemies, so there's different types of ruin things that will kill you. There's also new Fatui soldiers.
This is
One of them is a
badass.
very, very
Got a
fancy
sword
lady.
coming at
This is Val. This is the Electro Archon. This is
This is
the
the
Rise of
evil-
Shogun.
So she's called
Evil
Bao.
goddess.
I just want it. Bao?
Al.
Bao.
B-A-A-L.
Oh,
Bao.
right, okay. I thought you meant like a bao bun. I was like,
Oh,
what?
not like the bun.
B-E-A-L. An interesting thing that's coming along with this as well is, up until this point,
Ooh.
PlayStation wasn't capable of cross saves
Yes.
between
that's correct.
anything. So this game is quite well known for its ability to cross save between tablet device
No
and
matter
PC
what
and things
you're
like that. But
playing on,
PlayStation
yeah.
was not included until now. So now the capability for cross saves to your PlayStation account is available. So good for that.
But can I put a controller on my Android phone? That's what I need.
No.
Ah!
They don't have
Which
control over that.
No, you have to use
obviously
touchscreen, and I'm like, bleh. Bleh.
What's shown here is all the other different things that are available and the new weapons and things like that. And the weapons look quite cool because obviously it's based in Japan. A lot of the swords are like
Mythology
samurai
from
swords.
it. Yeah.
And it's really cool. And it's got quite a lot of nice little.
Ooh.
It's a really pretty. Like as soon as I got to the level, I was just like, everything
The
here is so
aesthetic,
pretty.
the like Shogun and
Yes.
Yeah,
So the aesthetic, but I've always said that about Genshin is that Genshin people originally are just like, oh my god, it's a Zelda Breath of the Wild. And you're just like, some of the mechanics, yes, but then once you get past the very superficial beginning of it, it is definitely not. And the amount of effort and work that is put into the different regions is absolutely astounding because Mondstadt and Liyue, like, you can tell when you cross the border from Mondstadt to Liyue, even if you're not looking at the map, it's because everything becomes so different. And now onto where you're now going into Inazuma, the aesthetic and things like that is amazing, and just the work that's been put into it is really, really, really pretty.
It's good. It did.
yes.
It put Genshin back in my head as something I might want to play,
Yes.
but I also know that it'll suck so much time out of me that I don't.
It's a time sink, and I know this because it's me. I've sunk so much time into it, but I hyper focus on things anyway, so that's kind of what I've done. But I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued at how the story is going. The Traveler seems to be fed up with people asking him to do this, or I've got the male Traveler, but you can have the female Traveler. Is kind of just fed up with people keeping asking them to do stuff like, can you do this? And they're just like, can I say no?
Just wait, hold on. What consoles is this on?
It's available on PlayStation,
Everything?
on tablet device, Android device, and
There's no cross save on everything.
PC.
It's iOS,
Yes.
Android,
iOS.
PC.
Yes. So
and
your MiHoYo account.
Yeah.
So the difference was that MiHoYo account and PC, Android, and iOS was all the same. Like it crossed across those, whereas for your PlayStation account it was different. Your MiHoYo
It's
account
not
for
available
PlayStation
on
was different.
Xbox.
No. I don't think so.
I
I could get
can't,
on.
I can't wait until I get my Steam Deck so I can play Genshin on the go.
I wanted it to come to Switch. The thing that I was waiting for, like, because I didn't get it from the very
Switch
beginning because I was like,
release? Yeah.
I can't wait for the Switch release. Wasn't happening. Got it on PC and I played too many hours.
Yeah, but you also got a tablet at the same time, so I think timing was
That's true.
timing was perfect with that, except
Yeah.
for giant thumb touch.
Yeah,
screen.
that is my news.
Touchscreen.
Like Genshin, guys, it's great. There's a lot of the game and it's free. There's so much game for free.
Anthem is
There's
also
so
no,
much
it's not.
game. There's so much game.
There is. Perfect. Thank you, Nadia, for that update on your favorite game of all time.
We have to get out of here because we're already.
Let's get the update. I finished the main storyline in Hades finally.
Hey! Hades is due for release on Xbox Game Pass very soon. By the way, it's August, so I cannot wait for that.
I know,
can't
but I
wait
don't
to
know if
try
there's a
it
point
out.
in me streaming that.
No,
Somebody
it's
else
just because
stream
I
that.
haven't played it yet, and everyone's talked about it, and I really want to play it, so I can't wait.
Still got to romance Thanatos. That's
wait,
my last thing.
What's today's date? It's the 27th.
27th.
I've preloaded The Ascent, so I downloaded it, and it's on my Xbox Series X waiting to go. That releases in 2 days. Yes! Can't wait. 29th, The Ascent. Never mind. Anyway,
We've run out of time. Here's this other thing we've
that
got.
was the gaming news. Let's finish off today's show with a little fun, great little game that. Sorry, sirens. Yeah, thanks for the sirens. Meep. Let's finish off today's show with a little mini game of our creation that goes a little something like this.
Shack Wheel, O'Neill.
This is the most important thing I do at school.
Shack Wheel, O'Neill. It's a game about puns and celebrity names. Shack Wheel, O'Neill. Shack Wheel, O'Neill.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Shackwheel O'Neill. Sam, what's Shackwheel O'Neill? Go!
Wine is So Wine. This is a game where we spin a big wheel of names. It presents us with the name of a famous celebrity or not, just someone's name who you'll know. And we have to try and make puns based on their name, like Brad Pitt makes a small cut in his jacket.
Oh, thank
Brad
God you went
Slit.
down that route. I thought you were going to go down the SHIT way.
No, I panicked. Anyway, Andrew stepped over what I was the end of my sentence. You get the idea.
Sorry.
We normally go in a specific order, but we're going to change the order now because everything's a mess. And because we need to be in line with what it looks like on camera. So I'm so sorry for all of you. You just need to make sure you're looking at the stream itself, because we're going to go Andrew, Nadia, me, Lewis, and then back to Andrew.
Great.
If you can't get a pun out based on the name that's on the screen, you are out. We all take a deep breath. And then we go again. This is one of many games that we play here at R-CADE, but we only play one every week on a Tuesday, and then we play 3 more exclusive to our Patreon account, which you can go and get if you're in the top 2 tiers as tomorrow. Plus, there's previous ones you can find.
Beautiful.
But without any further ado, drop Andrew. Spin that shack.
Let's
Shaw wheel. Oh my gosh, well,
Here we go. Shaw Wheel.
Shaw wheel O'Neill.
Shackwheel O'Neill. Oh, this week's name is Liam Neeson.
I need to refresh this board because Andrew's never changed the link I sent him, and so it's just all
I
the
keep
same.
going back to the same link. Shall I do it again?
Yeah, I'll do it again. I think we've done Liam Neeson. What, Liam B. Son, the results of the B movie.
Okay, it is Will
Oh, no.
Ferrell.
Right, there we go. We've not,
Will
we've not done Will
Ferrell!
Ferrell. We have done Bradley Cooper. We've not done Will Ferrell. All right.
Sweet.
So it
Okay.
starts with Andrew, goes to Nadia, goes to myself, and then goes to Lewis. Unless you're staying on this screen, Andrew.
No, I've
No,
put it
there
on
we
the
go.
big screen again. We're good.
Okay, excellent. So off you go, Andrew, with Bradley. Not with Bradley.
No,
Cooper,
with Will Ferrell. Don't do that to me. Okay. Will Ferrell is in danger. Will Peril.
Oh.
Will Ferrell is taking up streaming Will Ferrell Magical Girl.
All right. It's me. Will Ferrell pays for his meal. Bill Ferrell.
Will Ferrell is on helium. Shrill Ferrell.
Nice. Will Ferrell is a small rodent that lives in a tree. Squirrel Ferrell.
Will Ferrell has recently started wearing PPE and using alcohol gel, Will Sterile.
Nice.
Will Ferrell is cast as Adam Sandler's twin sister in Jack and Jill Ferrell.
Will Ferrell is sick. Ill Ferrell.
Okay.
Pill. Was that pill with a P?
No, L.
Ill.
Oh, L.
L.
Okay, damn. Okay, that's
So
my
me
one. No. Sorry. Will Ferrell is a herb that I've never put in my mouth. Dill Ferrell.
Will Ferrell is a tiny aquatic creature. Krill Ferrell.
Will Ferrell takes your money for the meal he just paid for. Till Ferrell.
Will Ferrell is getting married, but he's keeping his name. He's still Ferrell.
Damn it. That was my one you stole. Will Ferrell decides to change gender. Girl Ferrell.
Will Ferrell needs to die. Kill Ferrell.
Will Ferrell lives in a windmill. Mill Ferrell.
Will Ferrell is a mound of dirt. Will Ferrell.
Stop stealing mine! Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell has dropped his water all over the floor. Spill Ferrell.
Will Ferrell is a type of large bird with a giant beak. Bill Ferrell.
Will Ferrell toasts your sandwiches. Will Bevel.
That's not the right word.
It's Breville.
I'll accept being. That is what I was going for, but I could not remember the name of the company. I just would wing it. I'll take the first out. All right, everyone take a deep breath. And we go with Lewis.
Will Ferrell has became a rapper.
No! Don't steal mine
Will
again!
Ferrell.
No! Stop it! You said Lil Ferrell, right? That's not... You
Yeah.
bastard. Damn it, I went to say Lil Ferrell. Will Ferrell is an old writing implement. Quill Ferrell.
Will Ferrell lets out a little bird sort of noise. Trill Ferrell.
Ooh. Will Ferrell, he can't have kids anymore. He's Will Sterile.
Did it.
No,
I did it.
that he got
Okay.
sterile already.
I did the different definition of sterile.
Yeah.
We all take a deep breath because Lewis has passed away. And we go.
Finally free.
Oh, it's me. Sorry. Will Ferrell. Leaves all his belongings to his kids. Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell has a small an implement used for carving things. Sometimes small things. Will Dremel.
Dremel. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna call it. I'm out. I can't do anymore. I'm gonna win.
And in
Nadia
the
wins again.
ropiest of wins ever, Nadia wins. Thank you for watching the Super Arcade Show on this Tuesday, 27th of July 2021. We hope we'll see you next week. I won't be here, but you can still see my face over on patreon.com/arcade Glasgow. In the meantime, I think you're going to be rated over to someone, but don't forget to check over on twitch.tv/arcade2 tomorrow from 6 PM to see me, Nadia, and twitch.tv/Dotana talk wrestling.
And if you're curious about anything else that's happening this week, you can head on over to our Discord where we've got a timetable of everything that's going on Arcade, Arcade2, our YouTube, and our Patreon.
Yoo-hoo! And of course, you can also check us out on our web store. So if you go to arcadeglasgow.com/store, you can see all the amazing items that we have for sale for you guys. And there's a sale on at the moment where you can get yourself up to 50% off.
And if you only caught part of the show and you would like to catch up on the rest or see some of the other episodes, you can catch that on Spotify.
You know, I think that's the best show closing we've ever done.
I think it is.
Great job, everyone. Great job, everyone. We will see some of you throughout the week. In the meantime, bye. Have a beautiful time. Deuces.
See you guys later.
See you later!